We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to see what's available, to see what the energy is offering for the week to come. It is a Scorpio full moon. It is a big, bad, deep Scorpio full moon. So if tempers are running high, if emotions are overwhelming, if your dreams are a little wild, yes, correct. Yes, that is all very much in line with the moment. And really all that you can do is listen, is ride that out, is try to learn what you can from what your subconscious, your emotions, life in general is trying to teach you. So, if things are a little spiky today or just like a little grating, just like take a deep breath. Know that you are here in your body, that you are present, that this is simply a moment that you must get through. And depending on when you're seeing this, there might still be time to join me for my full moon spell circle on Monday, May 12th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central. So if you're seeing this before then, you can still join. All you have to do is sign up for my Patreon at the Coven tier level or higher. You can start a free trial and get into the, to the ritual. And then if you decide that it's not something that you want to continue with, you can just cancel before your free trial ends and you give me no money and you get into a ritual for free. Whoa, how cool is that? So just a hot tip from me to you. You can do that. I posted all the materials needed in the Coven tier and up Patreon on Friday. So that's all there and available to you. We're doing a spell jar, and there are a few things that you do need, like a jar. But really, after that, ingredients can be substituted, they can be replaced, they can be left out, just depending on what you have access to. So don't stress too much if you can't have everything, or even if you don't have the materials and you just want to join in and watch and listen and see how to make a spell jar, then great. That's also totally acceptable. So the link to my Patreon is in the episode description. If you're watching this on Patreon, just go to my page and look at the membership options to upgrade your membership if you are not already at the Coven tier or higher. Yeah, amazing. Other than that, just again, my books have reopened for readings. I've already gotten a few coming in for my new 10 tarot card to oracle card readings they're written readings that I send you via email. So those are up and ready. I've already had a few people back for live one-on-one readings over Zoom, and those have been just so incredible. So thank you to everyone who has gotten a reading, and if you haven't, then what are you waiting for? Now is such a good time to check in with yourself, both with the seasonal change, with this new full moon, It is a full moon. How many times have I been saying full moon this whole time? I hope so. It's a great time to check in with yourself and what you need for your spirit, or if you're just like kind of going through any transitional phases, any questions that you need help answering within yourself, then like get a reading and it'll be a great time. I think that's all I had to talk about. Other than, the reason that this is coming out a little bit later than usual is because I've been spending all day filming and editing my first Sims video that I will be putting up. I know I said it was going to be up last week, but it will be up this week. And if you haven't heard, I'm going to start posting Sims content. And first and foremost, I'm going to be talking about how I use The Sims 4 to manifest. This first video is pretty much just me building my apartment that I currently live in in The Sims 4 as like step 1 of the manifestation process. So if that's something fun, like if you love watching people decorate essentially, this video is for you. So keep an eye out for that. I'm hoping to have it ready and posted by Wednesday. If not Wednesday, then Thursday. Actually, I might go ahead and make it Thursday officially for Jupiter Day, for Luck Day. If I'm going to be talking about manifesting, what better day to do that? So keep an eye out for Thursday when this video should be landing. Anyway, now that I've talked for a long time, as always, hi, if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for listening to me talk for 5 minutes before we even getting into the tarot of it all. So if this is your first time with me, we always take a few minutes here to ground, center, and do what's called casting a circle, sit in container, to make sure that we are all present, grounded, and ready to listen, ready to receive. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes, taking a couple of breaths, and letting yourself just come into your body, come into this moment. Feel your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. And just become aware of wherever you are making contact with the ground, whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in your chair, your back on a bed or a couch. Wherever gravity is tethering you, holding you, become aware of that space. Feel the weight of your body settling into the ground, and feel the earth supporting you, and know that you are here, you are held, you are present. And as I now call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, imagine their essence, their force, creating a circle of protection around you. You might see a circle of salt, maybe a ring of fire, stones or mushrooms rising up from the earth. Maybe the ground opens and fills with a moat of flowing blue water. Maybe a force field of air starts swirling around you. Whatever you see is right, it is good. It is your magic, and it is here to hold you and to protect you. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north of Earth, the deepest roots and the tallest trees, the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south of fire, the life-giving sun, the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths here. And as you're ready, simply open your eyes. All right, let's get to the magic. I whipped out my Hoi Polloi Tarot today. This is a tarot deck from the 70s. This one in particular is from 1972. It like was marketed as like fully as a card game. So they're kind of flimsy. I got it on eBay. It was in someone's basement in Florida. But it is kind of a like high color recolor of the Rider-Waite-Coleman Smith deck. Okay, interesting start because the Five of Cups immediately jumped out, followed by the Three of Cups and Justice. And though the Five of Cups can feel really spooky scary, with that Three of Cups and especially that Justice coming out afterwards, major reminder that oftentimes the remedy for sadness, for grief, for loss is community, is leaning into support systems, even if you're not getting direct assistance with the thing that is worrying you, simply having others around you is very much going to assist in the long run. And there is the Death card. Scorpio full moon, there it is. We also had, so I said we had Justice, we also have the Emperor and the Eight of Wands along with Death. And Justice and the Emperor, there is some deep need here probably for boundary setting, for thinking about your boundaries, for looking at not only how people have crossed them, but how you have maybe crossed others or crossed ones that you've made with yourself. And I just keep on. And the Queen of Swords is back. I'm almost certain that she was here last week. So yeah, again, just more boundary talk. We'll talk about it more in full in a bit here. I just can't stop myself from commenting as they come out. And if you are listening and not watching, and if this is maybe your first time with me, I just shuffle and let the cards fall. I don't usually cut the deck or use a spread unless I feel, it's necessary. So, yeah, Ace of Wands, there's a good mix of like, if you do this, then the things start to open, then the paths become more clear. Empress has been here a lot in the past few weeks. I think this is where we're starting. Two more. Yeah, okay, it's just more, and it's just more balance. It's just more like celebrate, honor, and then discernment. So, going way back to the beginning, as I said, Five of Cups. Come on. Whoa. Three of Cups. And Justice. And I also almost feel like there is this reminder that even if we are leaning into the good, the support, the fun of our interconnectedness, there is still a need to have parameters, respect, again, boundaries. Boundaries are an act of love. They are how we can establish trust between, maybe with ourselves, between ourselves and others. So if your answer to hard feelings is to maybe just like simply go out and distract yourself with certain people in certain ways, doing certain activities, where is the line between support and escape? And when is escape doing you more harm than good? You cannot always just run away or push things down. You have to face actions, disappointments, mistakes, and decide how you're going to move forward from them in a way that is balanced, is supported and supportive, and that is ultimately in service of creating a better, fairer world for everyone and life for yourself. Yeah. And so then with the Emperor, it's not only boundaries, because we have the Emperor and the Eight of Wands, right? So there is a belief in your own power and abilities. There is an invitation to really step up and really, proclaim your place and who you are, and start to take actions that really align with who you want to be. And again, the world that you want to create. And find ways to really get consistent and intentional about your actions. Find ways to integrate the vision that you have for your future into your everyday life. What small steps can you take now? What habits, what routines can you add that help to really start to get the ball rolling on things that feel really far away? Because even the things that feel far away, if we don't get started on them now, they will always be far away. And then this is also where the Death card comes in, right? So there's this element here of allowing boundaries, allowing standing up fully as yourself. There's a cat hair here. Allowing this exploration of what you want to be doing and making those changes to bring it into your daily life, allowing that to show you just how many things need to be let go of, released, composted, in order to make way for that future that you want to see. Yeah. It might not be an intentional release as much as it might be a natural falling away of things that you don't prioritize when you shift your prioritization, and learning to be okay with those things. And this Death card, a lot of times the Death card can be intimidating because it does mean such major change, but that's not really the vibe here. Like, yes, I mean, again, with the Scorpio full moon, a lot of things are being unearthed in our emotions and our subconscious, but it's almost like the actions that we begin to take with this week, with this full moon, are what opened the doors for the transformation. And it will happen so intentionally and so gradually over, the next week, the next few months, that you only start to notice it after things have already happened. It is inevitable, it is powerful, and it's exciting. It's a new era. Unavoidable. Necessary. Beautiful. Yeah. And then, this is the key part, right? So as I said, it's going to open the way. The actions that you start taking this week is opening the way for the opportunities and the changes that you want to create, but you have to keep your eyes open for them. Sometimes when we become very stable in our routines and the things that keep us emotionally regulated, we fear changing that. There is a fear about what new opportunities, what trying new things will do to that regulation. And so once we find it, it is the new challenge to be able to kind of, I don't want to say set it off balance, but to cut through our own veils that we've put upon ourselves in service of maintaining boundaries and maintaining, intention and clarity. But sometimes what we think is clarity is really, again, just a veil keeping us from seeing change that is beneficial and necessary. So, just keep that in mind, however you move through this moment, that yes, those boundaries are important. Yes, keeping your eyes, trained on what you want to build and create and being intentional and truthful about that is important. And you still have to keep your eyes open. You still have to keep space available for things that you never could have dreamed were possible to reach you. And try not to be afraid, or be afraid and do it anyway. You might have also just heard Angus trying to get in. He's still trying to get in. Should we see if we can get an Angus cameo today? What do you think? Do you have anything to say? Do you want to use your words? No, you want me to let you go? Can you say one thing? Can you say anything? Can you say, I'm sweet? No. That's my water. Okay, to the floor. Anyway, those mysterious opportunities for joy, such as your cat trying to bust a door down during a reading, it happens. So, from this Four of Cups, Queen of Swords situation, we come into the Ace of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Lovers. And I really like this air and fire energy because, so we have the Ace of Swords, right? This is that like spark of inspiration that comes from unexpected places a lot. This is this path of, finding our ground, finding our rhythm, keeping things open for new opportunities, and the new opportunities showing up because they know that we are ready to receive them. And then the choices and, again, the intention that we need to make in order to get this fire going, in order to keep this motivation moving. The King of Swords brings in this curiosity and this openness, this ability to kind of like coach the self, to mentor the self, to keep us asking those questions, keep us willing to shift and change and move, to, again, make sure that the fire continues to be fed, being able to respond in thoughtful ways rather than reactive ones. And then the Lovers, reminding us always that as long as it feels aligned in the heart, we should always continue to seek it. As long as it continues to make us feel good and excited, and again, aligned with our values, our priorities, and the heart, the dreams, the love, then that is what we follow. That is where we go. That is the path that we take. And in doing so, Four of Wands, the Empress, the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords, remember, it will, especially with all this air energy present, that's also kind of this underlying theme of this more creative energy, all that fire, the Empress, right? Every time that you feel a desire to ignore what your heart is telling you, what your emotional response is telling you, in service of what is the most logical, in service of what society maybe expects of you, pause and instead see how you can unite multiple truths, how you can unite multiple strategies. And instead of choosing one thing or the other, allow both things to guide and create with you. Both. are needed. By choosing to stay in one place, you are choosing not to expand. So just be wary of those moments where you find yourself stuck between a rock and a hard place, and ask yourself if you are the reason that you haven't been able to move. Because, yeah, the Empress, the Four of Wands, the more you feed your creative energy, the more you feed your intentions, the more you pour your heart, your soul, your magic into whatever it is you are creating, the more stable and grounded and powerful it becomes. It becomes like, a habit of brushing your teeth, of, eating your breakfast, having your coffee, all of those things that are just second nature to you. If you continue to push past moments of overthinking and moments of what if I'm not enough, what if this doesn't work, then you will find that power behind action that you need to actually get this thing moving and going. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. Throughout all of this, recognizing when you need to learn, recognizing what you need to learn, and fully applying yourself to the journey of experiencing and growing. Yeah. That's the vibe. This is a time of learning, of expanding, of study and discovery. So allow yourself to discover. Cool. That's the reading with Angus's blessing. Amazing. Those are good vibes. I really like these vibes. I hope you like them too. Let's go ahead and close the circle. So once again, I'm going to close my eyes. I invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths. Reimagine that circle of protection around you. Whatever elements are present: fire, earth, water, air. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, allow your breath to release the circle, scattering salt, extinguishing fire, sending rocks, plants, water sinking back into the earth, dissipating air, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Incredible. Thank you so much, my friends. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. I hope to see you in the spell circle or in a reading soon. But that's all from me, and I'll see you next week.